Aloha, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is Z808, and I want to welcome you to the Season 6 Apex Arena review episode we have all been waiting for. That is right. We're talking about Betty with her new 3C skill. Please be aware that this video is not a how to build or how to use Betty guide. Instead, this video is for your entertainment and see how she can fit into an Apex box. One thing to keep in mind is that Betty is very similar to Luna in that her sole purpose is to complement your team. She's not an automatic I win button like when Ares or Rean first came out. You cannot expect to first pick her and win games. Instead, understanding her strengths and her weaknesses, then combining it with the rest of your team is what makes using her so enjoyable. Today, I will highlight 3 games. The first game is called Tank and Spank versus Seenum. So let's jump in and look at how to take a beating, then we retaliate our way to victory. So let's start with the pick ban. And if we look at our opponent's box, we do see that it seems like it's a rush box, right? We have Akka here, Ares, we do have Rosalia, and then SPL win. So with that said, I should have banned Akka, but I didn't, because I wanted to try something a little bit different in that particular fight. That I did get my the 2 biggest threat ban. He did start with a tank, which I didn't expect, but it was good enough. Of course, I had to get rid of Zarita, and we don't want the double Landius. He's banning all my long legs, obviously, and he picks Rosalia next. Me, I'm just having fun with my double-edged swords. And to complete the set, I have Bozo here with his 2 favorite girls. Opponent picks ddrd, and keep in mind that I did because he picked ddrd, I banned all his healers. So I got rid of Liana, I got rid of Sophia, I got rid of Weiler, and I got rid of because he's using Landius, I got rid of Rachel as well. So if you look at what is left over, well, Rosalia can help heal a little bit and deal a little bit, but he doesn't really have a complete healing team, which makes it very deadly for him, because I have that double AoE. Of course, he's still going gung-ho with Ares. I had to get rid of more. I was thinking who would have picked Akka, but then again, it probably didn't make sense since you know, the setup that he has. He does have a tank, so since he didn't pick Akka first pick, Yusuke probably did make a little more sense, because pretty much if you're able to break my team, if you break my tank, you know, rest of my team is pretty fragile, especially with, you know, Luna, Liana. Betty is not that strong, and of course Bozo is not meant to take hits from Yusuke or from Rosalia. So I slowly make sure I inch forward, stay very close to my tank, be very careful of the attack range of my opponent, inching very slowly. I'm literally crawling. And the thought process of this is I am wanting him to come and hit me. So here comes Rosalia, full force, coming in with how much attack are we looking at? Fury of Fear for extra damage. Ooh, a lot of extra damage, and 1978 attack. But it was okay. I was able to shrug that off. Still alive. Barely doing any damage to her, and she has Chivalry, so she's immune to debuff. Albedo almost getting killed by Landius, which was kind of sad, but it's okay. Held my ground. And now the third attack from Yusuke. Okay, so I'm not sure if everyone saw what happened there. So let's take a step back. So the reason why I survived that one, and I think my screen has to be a little bit better. So he's not angry, so of course he's not gonna hit as hard. But if you take a look at here, so when he attacking, my wind wall procced, so barely any damage there. And Betty is like, you're gonna hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. Or better, you touch me, I touch you back. And this is a perfect example of that. So here comes Ares coming in, full force, pushing me around, trying to be a bully. And then, well, I guess it's bye-bye Ares. Nice meeting you. So my team is badly damaged, as you can see. His team is fully healed almost. Luna is hurt quite badly. Albedo is hurt, no soldiers. It's still... My healer is not even ready to heal yet. And it's quite intimidating, right? It's supposed to be a Tank and Spank fight, isn't it? But... And this is when another wind wall proc. And I barely took any damage. And there's a couple of reasons for that. So you can take a guess on why. Look at my team composition and see if you can figure it out. But yeah, I wasn't worried. And here I am using her 3C. As you can see, barely any damage. Okay, so taking another beating and I lost my first life. Which is okay. Because here comes Diana. Get the team back pretty much to full. And ready to take more beating. And keep on tanking and spanking. And now it's my turn to return the favor, right? Now he's badly hurt. With a lot of silences. And here's some special maneuvering from Albedo here, doing like no damage, but didn't matter because all she needed to do was disable Landius, allowed Betty to do no damage and kill off somebody. Continue to slowly grind the enemy down and retaliate, wiping them out. So at this point, it's 5 against 2. Really no point to go on. So not sure if any of you have picked up on why my Albedo was taking all that beating and not dying. Well, died once, but still was able to kind of, do her job. But yeah, if you understand, please put it in the comments below. Love to hear your thoughts. All right, moving on. The second game is about Betty using Betty to slowly grind the enemy down. So you saw that earlier, right, with her 3C, all those extra little damages. As I mentioned earlier, she would not one-shot anything, but her ability to slowly wear down the opponent while debuffing them makes her very, very difficult to deal with. So we're going to look at this game with ddrd called grinding. I mean, it's literally a grind. So we are gonna go take a look at the pick ban first. So if you look at my opponent's box, when I first saw it, I was a little scared actually, because I see assassin, somewhat of assassin. I saw some time fraction, which goes really well with the 2 time fraction buffers. debuffer, very difficult to deal with, and then the Iris to teleport if need be, and then of course we also have ODS to you know, to make the ground unbearable. So when I first saw the box, I didn't know who I was fighting. I was like, I mean, where do I even begin? Like, who do I even ban? So can you guess who I banned first? I'll let you take a guess before I move on. I'll let you think. Okay, here goes. So my first, well, he banned my Rean first, right? So which is kind of odd, but I guess because he doesn't really have Rosalia, not Rosalia, Rosenseal to deal with it, and no juggler. I think that's partly why he banned Rean. But anyways, so my first ban is, yes, Langrisser, and you're probably thinking like, what the, right? But yeah, there is a reason for that. But anyways, I shouldn't have banned Langrisser. I should have banned Albedo, because Albedo is actually in faction with these two. So I had to ban them right after he picked them. But my sole purpose is like, hey, you know what? I am going to AoE to death, even though you are going to get rid of Rean. But he did get rid of all my debuffers, so I was like, what am I gonna do? I'm definitely scared of the assassin, but you know, he was able to pick one right off anyways. So very untraditional pick ban. I even pick a healer fairly early, and he did get a fraction buffer for her, for the assassin. I was able to pick up SP Elwyn, trying to be creative in possibly using a juggler combo. More mythical team. I got rid of the other gospel. Not much, just one, but that was important. And then I pick a second healer instead of a second tank, because if you look at what's kind of left, it's either gonna be AoE, or here's Ares could be single target. But my guess was that he's probably not gonna pick Rean, because he doesn't, yeah, because I have Rosenseal and then I also have juggler, so picking Rean was kind of meaningless. So he did pick Ares there. So one thing very important to understand for this particular game, and I do want to go a little bit into it, is with Shalinka. So with Shalinka, her specialty is that she can teleport with the fleeing flash. It makes her quite deadly, and before if at least, okay, so this is another thing, right? So after she teleport, right, she gains a death blow effect, but before initiating battle, if at least one enemy is within one block range of the target, this attack directly attacks the enemy hero. So that means if she teleports and I have someone next to one of my heroes, when she attacks, it's gonna be direct. It's like the Zarita's Alcazar combo, okay. And but not only that, that's just the skill itself, right? When she can also use a skill to attack 1.6 times, meaning the soldiers will also attack. And this attack ignores 20% defense for each enemy adjacent to the target, up to 40%. And if there are no enemies within 2 blocks of the target, you can act again after defeating the target. So that means, it's very technical. That what that means is that if there are people like how I'm standing here, then that means I'll get minus 20%. If I stack all my people around my tank, that means I will lose 40% defense. And if you lose 40 defense on juggler and it gets attacked the hero directly, Shalinka will one-shot juggler. So I was aware of that, and that's why if you look at, and I want to explain that because you will notice that my positioning is really weird, or if you didn't understand how Shalinka works, it will definitely seem weird to you. But anyways, that I didn't want to highlight that. I didn't want to get one shot by her. Okay, so anyways, moving on now. Sorry for the really long. Sorry about that. What I meant to say is sorry about for the long explanation there. So, kind of moving forward, and as you can see, I'm being extremely careful with my positioning. Make sure no one is standing next to each other. But at the same time, buffing my team to as strong as possible. We did get a buff, and lucky for me, the breeze proc was on the tank. He's slowly edging forward. Here comes the teleport. And I have to reposition, my team. Thanks to Miracle and not moving my water, I was able to basically tank the hit, no problem. Unfortunately, because it was a single target hit, I wasn't able to finish Ares off. So he decided that he's gonna run away. But that's why we have Liana, and that's where SP Elwin really shines. That's when he really shines. Again, be very careful of the positioning, move in, kill him off, and I'm not close to anybody, so I still have, in case if I get killed or hit, I have to revive. So I removed one of the biggest threat. But Shalinka is still there, right? She is still be able to snipe one of my characters if I'm not careful. So here comes Shalinka, finishes off my Rosen Seal, and moves back. Here comes Betty. Hey, I'm gonna one-shot everybody. Not even close. But I'm gonna do a lot of grinding damage to slowly wear you down and put in a heal block. So make sure to waste all your heals. Follow up with Juggler. Grind you down some more. Forcing them to heal in the beginning of the turn, and now I have advantage with the positioning to kill off Shalinka's first life, and at the same time locking down their tank. And at least I thought I could lock down their tank, but you know, I wasn't that smart, right? He's a lot smarter than I am, so he pushed me away. So I went in with SP Elwin, and even though Albedo has Stone Colossus, she did not proc her 3C or her block like that. So Elwin was able to do a lot of damage, and Betty was able to pick her off. Again, slowly grinding down the tank, forcing them to heal in the beginning of the turn. This is key. You have to have a lot of follow-ups. She did proc her 3C here, so I'm barely gonna do any damage, as you can see. But it's okay. Shalinka is back up. I wasn't able to kill her, but it's okay, because she needs a one-turn setup. All I really need to do now is to slowly grind them down, even if it's a little bit here and a little bit there. And Diana SP Elwin is just OP. That combo allows me to, even with that 3C, I was able to finish her off. I mean, time and time again. This is where the mistake was on their part. Should have used Shalinka do something, but she decided to heal instead, leaving my SP Elwin to pick off Shalinka. So at this point, by killing off the biggest threats, it didn't really matter. 4 against 2, I have a DPS, a tank, and a healer, and a support. There's really no point. So I'm not gonna explain the rest. I'll just let you enjoy the fight as is. I mean, as you can see, the damage done by Betty is it's not super strong, right? You know, her job is not to one-shot anything, but slowly grind them down and you know, allow your team to kind of finish off. So yeah, I hope you found that enjoyable on how to use Betty that to really complement your team. Okay, we're going on to our last game. So the last game I want to highlight is a non-traditional way to use Betty. It's a very short game. This game is I call it Tank Push ? It wasn't an actual Apex Arena match. I was bored and you know, in the middle of the night I went and played a couple casual games and I met up with this random player. And I did, if you notice that I did play with that player once, so I sort of understand the box a little bit already. So the second game, when I saw this player again, I said like, okay, well, you know, why don't I try something a little bit different? Because everybody knows, if you look at my box, it's a slow tank push box, and you know, that's how I roll, right? If you look at it, it's very especially with Betty. You slowly move up, stay with your tank, and you know, tank and spank or and retaliate or whatever. And if you look at my opponent's box, it's actually completely different. So I mean, because I already played him once, I saw, but it's a horse juggler, very far range. You have Akka for extreme boost to range. You also have Shalinka for teleport and jumping in. You have Zarita. So a lot of dangerous characters, and even Rean most likely with boots. So there are a lot of ways, and don't forget Listel with Akka buff. The extra range can do some really crazy rush strategy. So for me, you know, I first banned Rose and Seal. Why did I do that? Because I'm tank pushing, right? I can't let them have Rose and Seal. Of course not. So you know, he picks the tanks and picks the juggler. That's when I start, you know, I gotta get rid of Listel. I can't handle her because I'm using Albedo. Because I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to get Rose and Seal, which I didn't. Getting rid of my long legs and coming with Yulia. Again, both of these characters can lock down Albedo, right? I had to get rid of Olandius and then the Gospel there. And you know, I don't know what I'm doing anymore, so I just said, why don't I pick Ares? You know, old faction buffer for the two of them, super deadly. That's when I realized I gotta get rid of Akka. I picked Luna because you know, I gotta be, you know, can at least tank some of the hits from Yulia. Coming with Shalinka to, again, if it's a tank push strategy, it's very easy to kill off the tank if she can use her specialty. I decided to use my friend Joshua here, and then he picks a second tank. And if you look at it's actually a demon tank, which is a 5-move tank, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure why, but I guess that's better than using Freya. So for me, instead of picking a healer, I said, you know what, since I'm doing my Betty thing, why don't I throw in Betty in there? I have no healing, but it's a tank push game, right? So why do I need healing? So enemy charges forward, and I immediately set up my Luna. Again, that's a demon Albedo. And yep, I'm gonna tank push all the way in. Goes in and oh yeah, one-shots our friend Juggler there. And of course, heavily damage their team and retreats. That's how we roll, right? And because Shalinka doesn't have any buffs, she wasn't able to do much damage there. I immediately move forward. Gotta stick with the tank push strategy. I mean, I got one of the bigger threats of Juggler, so he can't run in and jump and block me down. But there's still that huge threat with Godly Menace by Yulia. And that is exactly why we need Betty. Right? Comes in, and I got a block and thorns, and I just kind of laugh it off. Sorry, Yulia. But this is the golden moment here. Why we have Betty. That's right. That's right. She got she got a debuff. Let's take a look at what happened there. Very untraditional way to Betty. I'm not sure if many of you remember her talent. Her talent, actually, that if someone gets hit, there is a 30% chance to apply a random debuff. It's very low chance, but it can happen, and this is like one of the perfect examples. Okay, you going to heal? Fine. I will do damage by giving you a heal reversal. So it's like the perfect debuff, right? Heal block would have been just as effective, but heal reversal is even, it's like slapping him twice. So with that said, that's it. Yulia is dead. And with Yulia dead, it's game over because there's no damage that he can do to me with the 3 remaining characters, and I have a full team still. Especially when, you can't pierce my tank. So, unfortunately, that's it. Opponent decides to give up. So again, very untraditional ways to use Betty, but sometimes it's those little things, little unexpected things that she can do that can help you win games. So I hope you enjoy my videos featuring Betty today. If you have some interesting ways of using her, such as a tank or otherwise, I would love to hear about your experience. Please share them in the comments below. And as always, I am truly thankful for all your support, and do like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more of my Langrisser mobile content. I wish you all a wonderful day, and aloha.